Welcome to Goa News now. Just yesterday, I had taken up a topic municipality गार्डनाचे रेनोवेशना बाबतींत. सो आयज प्रत्यक्षान हांव गार्डनान भितरूच आसा. माझे फाटल्यान जे तुम्ही पळोवंक शकता दिस इज द गार्डन एरिया. आता जे काम चलता ते रेनोवेशनाचे खातीर काम चालू आसा. काल आम्ही जे टॉपिक उलयल्ले खूब लोकांनी म्हाका पर्सनल मेसेज केल्ले की वॉट एक्झॅक्टली वॉज द कंटेंट इन दॅट लेटर तें तरी फूल डिटेलान सांग. सो आय सेड येस आय विल डू दॅट. आणि जशी आमची इट इज आवर हॅबीट टू डू पोस्टमॉर्टम ऑल्सो ऑफ ऑल द न्यूज. सो ही जी न्यूज हा कालची तेजे भितर आनी पोस्टमॉर्टम करपाची गरज आशिल्ली. सो दीस इज वॉट वी डिसायडेड टू डू टुडे. आणि आयज ते पोस्टमॉर्टम करपाक आमचे वांगडा आसा आमचे दोन काउन्सिलर भाव. एक आसा यतीन कामलीकर बाब आणि एक आसा होपी बाब. बोथ हॅव व्हेरी वेल नॉलेज अबाउट म्युनिसिपालिटीज अफेअर. खूब म्हाका दिसता सेकंड टर्म बोथ आर हॅविंग सेकंड टर्म. सो गूड नॉलेज ऑफ म्युनिसिपालिटी अफेअर. तांकां हे सुद्दां खबर आसा की हे जे गार्डनाचे रिपेर रेनोवेशन जे कामां जी सुरवात जाल्ली वॉट हॅपन दॅट टायम वेन द इनिशियल प्रपोजल वॉज प्लेस. सो begin with Yatin Bab. I had got some information की जेन्ना हे प्रपोजल घातलेले सुवर्णा बाब बांदेकर तेंच्यांनी प्रपोजल घातलेले फॉर दिस रेनोवेशन ऑफ म्युनिसिपल पार्क. What was your objection? Because I got to know that you stood and you raised certain points. Not objection, you raised certain points.
Well, correct. Not objection as such. First of all, I would like to thank the Bandekar group of companies for taking up this garden. That was really nice of them because these gardens were really they needed renovation. They were in a very pathetic condition, and I'm very happy that this work is going on. पहिले म्हटल्यार म्हाका I was not sure. म्हाका आसलें कोणी prank केला म्हणून. When I saw those on the WhatsApp group, that letter of Mr. Bandekar, I thought it was just a prank. Somebody must have played a prank because shocking कित्याक म्हाका दिसना एकदा एक बांदेकर ग्रुप ऑफ कंपनीज जे कमिटेड वन्स दे आर कमिटेड ते केन्ना फाटीं सरना. सो म्हाका दिसोकूच ना की तशें आसतलें. पण काल तुमचे इंटरव्यू पळयल्या उपरांत म्हाका सिरियसनेस कळ्ळें की मे बी येस खरें आसा म्हण तें. वेरएज ऑब्जेक्शन अशें न्हू. मिटिंगेक हांवें एक इशू रेज केल्लो तो म्हाका फक्त इतकेंच जाय आसलेलें की वेन आमी जेन्ना CSRच्या अंडर आमी आमची प्रॉपर्टी म्युनिसिपल प्रॉपर्टी जेन्ना आमी म्हणटा आमचे गार्डन जेन्ना आमी कोणाकूय फॉर डेवलपमेंट रेनोवेशनाक दिता पळय तेन्ना एक प्रकारचो आमी MOU सायन करता. लायक फॉर एग्जाम्पल पयलीं हे जुवारी करताले. सो जुवारी कडेन आमचो MOU आसलेलो. सो सेम थिंग हांवें फॉलो कर म्हटलेलें तांकां की MOU आमी करया. आनी सेकंडली प्लॅन्स वॉट एक्झॅक्टली रेनोवेशनाच्या अंडर आमी हे दोनी गार्डनान आमी कितें करतले वॉट वॉज सपोज टू बी डन. सो तेजे एक प्लॅन्स आमी आमच्या मिटिंगेक प्लेस कर अशी एक रिक्वेस्ट हांवें केलेली. अँड आय रिमेंबर आमचो काल तुमी तेजे इंटरव्यू घेतली दीपक नायक बाबाचे आमचो फ्रेंड कलीग काउन्सिलर आमचो. सो ही रिक्वेस्टेड की बाबा आमी जेन्ना डेवलपमेंटाक वयता तेन्ना हे MOU आनी प्लॅन्स बी आहा ते स्लोली नेक्स्ट मिटिंगेक आमी हाडया. पूण सद्याक पयलीं आमी एक जनरल डिसिजन घेवया की रिनोवेट आमी करपाक दिवपाचें म्हण तांकां. आनी त्या भाशेन आमी सगळ्यांनी युनानिमसली 25 काउन्सिलरांनी रिनोवेशनाक आमी सपोर्ट केलो. आनी अंडर CSR हे तांकां रिनोवेट करपाक दिवचे हे डिसिजन आमी घेतले. नाव दीस हाका म्हाका लास्ट 6 म्हयने जाला आसतले. लास्ट 6 मंथ्स जाला ताका. आनी
मोर दॅन दॅट बिकॉज म्हाका एक खबर आसा जेन्ना हांवें एक गार्डनाचे बाबतीन एक स्टोरी केल्ली तेन्ना काउन्सिलर सिटी वॉर्ड काउन्सिलर शी कॉल्ड मी अप एंड शी सेड दॅट देर इज ऑलरेडी अ प्रपोजल फॉर रेनोवेशन. सो प्लॅनिंग म्हाका दिसता खूब पयलींचें आसा. काम एक 6 म्हयने चालू जालें. हय आतां एक 6 मंथ्स.
करेक्ट. बेजिकली कितें जाता अंटू सिन्स आमची प्रॉपर्टी आसल्या कारणान मे बी सिटी काउन्सिलर इट वॉज अ वंडरफूल स्टेप ऑन हर सायड to request Bandekar group of companies for this to take up this issue garden for renovation. आता जेन्ना आमकां कितें आसा आमकां 6 म्हयन्या पयलींच मिटिंगेक गेलेले बिकॉज विदाउट आवर काउन्सील डिसिजन दीस कॅनॉट बी दीस प्रपोजल कॅनॉट गो मूव फॉवर्ड. सो जेन्ना येयले तेन्ना हांवें तांकां MOU सायन करपा खातीर तांकां हांवें रिक्वेस्ट केलेली. बट नेवरदलेस
केल्ले पण
ना करूंक ना म्हाका दिसता.
कितें एग्रीमेंट कितें तरी एक
नो टू माय नॉलेज
ऑन व्हाईट अँड ब्लॅक.
No, to my knowledge, no. See, so much trust we had on the party, on the Bandekar group of company family that आमकां दिसलें की बाबा ना हे शुअरली जातलेंच. सो MOU आमी केन्ना फ्युचरान करतलेच. आय निडेड MOU ओन्ली बिकॉज ऑफ वन रिजन बिकॉज रिनोवेशन सगळे करता पण मेंटेनन्स तेच्या उपरांत कोण करना. सो एकदा रिनोवेट केलें न्हू जाल्यार ते परत सांबाळून दवरपाक जाय ती वस्तू, जाल्यार ते कोण रिनोवेट करता पळय तेंच्या हातीरूच आसता. लायक जुवारी करतले आनी वयतले पण मागीर रिनोवेट मेंटेन कोण करना जालो. आतां रेल्वे आमच्या स्टेशना फुडलें गार्डन JSW काय अडानी आय डोंट नो कोणी केला ते, पण कोणी तरी केला ते, पण मेंटेन कोण करिना. आयज तिची हालत कितकी बिगडा ती तुमी पळया. सो तेज्या लागून हांवें तुका सांगतलो कितें की MOU करा आनी तुमी मेंटेनन्स क्लॉज तितून घालपाक जाय आसलेले. आनी म्हाका खबर आसा बांदेकर ग्रुप ऑफ कंपनी जेन्ना कितें बरें करता पळय ते सदांच ते मेंटेनूय करतात.
आय हॅव सीन दॅट क्लॉक टावर बरें दिसता, अजुनूय चलता, म्हाका दिसता घडयाळ चलता तितून.
डेफिनेटली आनी तेणी खरेंच बरे तरेन ते रिनोवेट केल्ले आसा. आनी इवन ते मेन्शन केला तेणी आपल्या लेटरान, वीच ऑल्सो आय फेल्ट व्हेरी बॅड. कित्याक जाणा तूं तेजे कडेन आसल्यार ते बरें मेंटेन उरतले. आतां वाडेम लेक खरें बांदलां आमी, पण तिजी जी आमचे झाडां आहा रोयल्लीं थंयसर आनी कितें आहा तेका बाबडे कोण उदक घालता तसो लावन नकळो. सो मेंटेनन्स बाबतींत आमी मातशे वीक आसा म्युनिसिपालिटी. सो इवन तेंच्यांनी समज मेंटेनन्स सांबाळून घेतलेले न्हू जाल्यार वूड हॅव बीन वंडरफूल. आनी तुमच्या माध्यमांतल्यान हांव रिक्वेस्ट करपाक सोदतां बांदेकर ग्रुप ऑफ कंपनीज, तुमचे समज कितें मनान कितें वायट बरें कितें आसा ते सगळें सायडीक काडया. तुमी एक बरें डिसिजन घेतलें हें गार्डन रिनोवेट करपाचें, ते आमी तशेंच फुडें व्हरया. कितें प्रॉब्लम्स आहा कितें आसा ते आमी बसून करून सेटल करून आमी तुमी हे प्लीज टेकअप करा. तुमी फाटीं सरनाका, तुमी टेकअप करा आनी तुमी कंप्लीट करा रेनोवेशन.
खरेखर ॲक्च्युली कालूय अशेंच म्हणलेलें आहे की वास्को इज ब्लेस्ड टू हॅव सो मेनी कॉर्पोरेट हाऊस, बट खंय तरी आमीच चुकता, म्युनिसिपालिटी चुकता म्हणून आयज काडूनय आयला. कित्याक म्युनिसिपालिटी सायडीन मेंटेनन्साचो भाग आहा तो मिसींग आहा. होपीबा वेन एवर आय सी यू यू हॅव गूड नॉलेज, यू डू पोस्टमॉर्टम ऑफ ईच एंड एवरी एस्पेक्ट. हे जे म्हणटा पळय, वेन ही हॅड रेज दॅट इशू ऑफ मेंटेनन्साचो क्लॉज ना जाल्यार सम कायंड ऑफ MOU. तुमकां दिसता की आयज जर MOU आसलेले जाल्यार this situation would have not come?
I'll put it the other way. Beggars are not choosers. So when a proposal comes to the municipality, proposal A law, Bandekar, Suvan Bandekar, and I mean, they've been doing, as we said, the clock tower, he's really been, and that's one successful project under CSR, we can put it that way. Till today, it's working superbly because they've continued to maintain the same. Now, as far as the garden, the proposal came, the city councillor, she brought up the proposal, and it was, as the council, we were unanimous, yes, but as he said, there was the issue of, what are the plans? What do you have in mind about the municipality? We are the owners of the same. We should be aware about, what you want to do. What is your plan over there? So, but there were, he's taken some really good architects on board. That's what was assured to us and everything. And keeping in mind that ultimately it's for the greater good of Vasco, we were all for it. Yes, there was nothing in writing in the sense that we had to enter into that MOU, as he said. But today it's about, sitting across the table and kind of clearing whatever doubts he has, whatever issues he has. I mean, see, you put it this way. CSR, okay, they've done, and Vasco has given so much to so many business people. This is a businessman's way of saying, this is what I'm giving back to Vasco.
Gifting back.
I'm giving this back to Vasco. This is my contribution to Vasco. We saw during COVID and all. There were some businessmen, I mean, forget, like, some people's name also never came. Somebody like Sukan Shanbag, Annapurna Hotel, he's done a lot. Nana Bandekar, amazing what he has done in Vasco. Suvan Bandekar also has come in the picture. But there are some other businessmen, I wouldn't want to take names. But you have taken so much from Vasco. Vasco has given you so much over the years. What are you giving back? So that is something that, has to be thought of. It's like, okay, now, as far as this garden, he came, I do not know what was the understanding between the councillor and Bandekars, but the proposal was from Bandekars as far as renovation of this. Look at it another way. We have PFA, right? I'm just saying, okay? Yeah. You decide to adopt a stray dog, you decide to adopt a stray cat or something from there. Ultimately, you know what is the condition of PFA, but you're adopting that particular dog or cat, that animal. So it's your love for that, okay? 6 months down the line, because PFA is not functioning properly or some issue or whatever, you cannot say, boss, take your dog back. Can you say that?
Point valid.
You can't say that, no? Everybody's got problems. I'm not saying municipality is like, everything is proper. No. But here, I was watching your interview with the MLA and he sat with the Bandikar group, and I guess I hope things get sorted out, because at the end of it, Vasco comes first. Simple.
One thing I wanted to know, because till today, being a journalist, I also don't know what will happen here inside. मग म्हाका एक खबर ना कोणी मॅडम शामी शालकरान सांगलेले देर आर मेनी थिंग्स दॅट वील कम अप काम सुरवात जालें पण म्हाकाय खबर ना तुमकां तरी खबर आसतलें दिसता.
No, not really. Actually, even in the last meeting, this point was discussed briefly, and actually, heads up to the city councillor. She's following it up. Okay, she was the one who actually replied saying that they are in the process of finalizing the plans and then putting it across, placing it before the municipal. They have taken on board some wonderful architects. One thing is for sure, की कितें करतले पळय ते बरेंच करतले. तितून
कितें करतले ते काय
कितें करतले ते अजूनपर्यंत आमकांय खबर ना. सो वी आर अवेटिंग. ओके, एज ऑफ नाव तुम्ही पहिलं असतले.
We are in the same council.
Same
now.
council. As of now, त्यांनी कंपाऊंड वॉल चालू केला करपाक. Okay, you can see behind the work is still going on. They are doing it very nicely.
What is the scope of work? No one knows. See, that is what we were saying. What is the scope of work? What about maintenance? All these things, these points had come up in the meeting. But then, since it's the greater good of Vasco in future, because I remember same point when this point came up, Deepak spoke about Baina Garden also. Chogles had said they would do it. The NOC was given everything, and then they backed out. They didn't even take the first step, I guess.
Yeah, that garden has become a nightmare. I don't know when that
So
will
at the
happen.
end of it, I guess municipality should be more aware about how they manage their things. Secondly, as far as maintenance is concerned, yes, it's in bad shape, I agree. But at the end of it, maintenance, we have a maintenance section. Municipality has a maintenance.
You have a maintenance
We
section.
have a maintenance section, but as I told you,
That maintenance section itself needs maintenance.
Exactly. See, what happens is, if we put a maintenance section in place, now, is it in our hands? We've raised this point in your last interview also. Labor nahi. Kai na? Komi aa labor. So, our assets are so much, but our workforce is less. So, at the end of it, are we in a position to maintain? No. This fact, when somebody comes forward, isn't he aware? Everyone is aware. Tomorrow, say we form a maintenance committee of prominent citizens of Vasco. 6 महिन्या भितर ते सोडून वयतले. कित्याक?
बेजार जाले.
होय, अरे बाबा, वी मेड दिस सजेशन, कांय जायना. तें करपाक आमकडे कॅपॅसिटी आसपा जाय न्हू. कॅपॅसिटी, when I'm saying capacity, we don't have the workers, we don't have the workforce. That is the reality. Let's accept the reality. First reality is this: Vasco, we don't have the workforce. We need to put that in place. For that, we need governmental support. And I'm sure Vasco MLA will work towards that, as he said in the interview.
Finance खूप important गरज असा. If finance you have, everything happens. Now let's come to that particular letter. I saw that letter in your hand. Many of my viewers wanted to know what exactly Swarnabab Pandekar wrote. So Mas Nitin Bab तुमकाच विचारता. You being the council member, I know it will be a problem for you to read out only about the city, but किती main points आते ते मातसो सांगा.
no, basically he has targeted the city itself, and right from two-wheelers carrying more than 2 passengers, no zebra crossing, prominent. Even he has blamed the prominent establishments for parking there, blocking the footpath, parking their vehicles there. Very clearly he has done. Even their offices, littering garbage directly into the drainage. Okay, garbage is littered everywhere. You see, if you read it, practically he has just no bus stops. So he has targeted mostly the traffic portion, and then he's also targeted the non-cleaning of gutters, everything. Now 2-3 points are valid points of his, which I feel also is as a concerned citizen. Whatever he has raised, like for example, he says finally with the so-called port expansion, the defense, the railways doubling, the public sector units, Goa Shipyard and other expanding with absolutely no planning, is absolutely right when it comes to this. And the town of Vasco may finally get converted as only single street or lane town. So whatever issues he has raised, he's also raised issue regarding now we are talking about doubling. He's talking about the third line that might come up in future. So he's also casting aspersion whether this garden itself will stay or it will go to the railways. in
That
this
might
matter
happen.
itself. Yeah. So that is what he has. So these are some genuine concerns of his which really needs to be taken. I mean, looked at seriously by all of us. Okay, that's what he says. What is the guarantee that the part of this garden next to the railway line, even after restoration beautification, will not be taken over by the railways for triple line or more tracking in future for commercial gains? That is what he's casting aspersions on this also. So he's saying there is no life left in Vasco as of now. Now I am little bit surprised. Surprised in the sense, I'll tell you, this proposal was forwarded to us just 6 months back.
Yeah.
Okay, 6 months back, it was the same situation which is now. What it was 6 months
Yeah,
back, the
prevalent.
same
Same
situation
situation.
it's now. Okay, I'm 100% sure he must have known that these things were still not
Address.
addressed during last 6 months also. So what has changed in this last 6 months that made him realize that yes, nothing has happened in the last 20 years or 10 years? This is slightly disturbing because what has happened, what has made him feel so dejected, what has happened in this last couple of months, 3 months, that he writes this very hard hitting letter, and the starting 3 4 lines, I mean, it's really,
Please read it out.
yeah, it comes from his heart. He says we no more, he's giving the reason for not doing the thing. We no more feel enthusiastic or encouraged to do so, considering the overall never improving and pathetic condition of this historical port town, where there is absolutely no ease of life, even in basic amenities, and everything is attended superficially only with self-interest.
Now, whose self-interest?
I don't know. So what has happened in this last 6 months that he feels the same like this? This is not last 20 years or 10 years. This is something that has happened in this last couple of months. Because 6 months back, Vasco was still the same, what it is now.
What's your reaction?
I just say when he used the words that he's cast aspersions, no, he's given his opinion. He's expressed his view and he's entitled to. Okay? Now, it's his money. He's decided to put his money here. He has every right to take out his money as and when he wants to, as far as that is concerned. And as since we don't have any MOU, we also don't have any right to speak against that. As things stand, his views expressed very hard hitting. Have you done an interview with him?
I'm actually wanting to interview him, but uh, I will try my best to get it touch and get it done.
Because what he means, what he has to express, probably it would be good if
Yeah.
you
I
take
will
his
definitely try. I will definitely request Suvarnabha Bandekar to give me an appointment. I will try to get his interview.
Definitely, he is the
It's
man.
it's it's important. It's important because at the end of it, he's the stakeholder. He's a major stakeholder. If we have 50% stakeholders, he's 50% stakeholder on this. You need to speak to him.
But he pointed out, he opened up out a Pandora box, highlighting issues which nobody else in past had done it. I don't know. I don't remember. But yes, nevertheless, one thing is very much sure that friends, वास्को खंय तरी आमचे फाटी उरलेलो आसा आनी जशें आमचे कावन्सिलर भाव म्हणटा पळय देर इज नो मेंटेनन्स फाटी उरलेलो आसा म्हणून डेव्हलपमेंट जायना म्हणून ना डेव्हलपमेंट जाता यू सी नाना बांदेकर 50 lakhs not a small amount I remember those days when you used to walk on that footpath, you used to hear FM and all that. Eyes kide, eyes, you see, you go, you see by yourself. This is the condition. ये किधर खातिर maintenance उतना नहीं.
Exactly, that is the reason
so
we spoke about.
hats off to people like them. They are giving back to Vasco. Hats off to them.
There are few left who are
So,
weaving.
somewhere down the line, if we are lacking, let's sit, work it out. That's what I feel.
I hope that this issue is settled here. I hope that Swarnabab Bandekar will continue his good works for Vasco and Vascoites. Now moving forward, एक काल दीपक बाब आलेलो सो तेजेकडे विचारले तुम्ही नाहलेले. So now I am coming back to one good topic which I have been regularly following up. गोवा शिपयार्ड लिमिटेड कितें जालें तेजे उपरांत कितें मुवमेंट जालें तुमी आवाज केल्ले.
We did the last interview with you, four of us, Nanda,
yeah.
Yatin, Deepak and me. So that time we came down from a meeting, a very hot meeting that happened where things were placed before us, and it was like 10 minutes after the meeting we spoke to you. After that we got time to study everything. So what is the crux of the issue? What is the issue? Issue is about Shipyard. Shipyard, they have constructed 7-8 buildings over there. Buildings,
Oh, okay.
structures, for which they had taken the necessary permissions from the PDA, necessary permissions from the municipality. As per procedure, they were granted their approvals as far as construction licenses are concerned. Certain conditions were put, conditions based on which they have done their construction. They then come for their completion certificate to the PDA. PDA gives them a completion certificate as far as some of the buildings are concerned. Then they come to the municipality for occupancy certificate. Now, one of the conditions that was very clear was, as far as this is concerned, part of their, you know, property that they are holding is falling in road widening area. So, as far as that is concerned, the municipality had written to them that, listen, you need to gift this to the municipality, and as far as your wall, compound wall is concerned, that area that is enclosed has to be taken in. Based on that letter, their occupancy, there was probably to and fro movement going on, because it's the chief office and the technical section that deal with them when it comes to construction licenses. They did their work as far as the construction part was concerned. They brought their completion certificate from the PDA, and then it got stuck because municipality had written this letter. So municipality has not rejected their occupancy certificate. It said that, boss, please comply with these particular things. To which they then aggrieved by that. It's not an order of the chief officer, it's a letter saying, please submit these things. They went to the DMA. Now, the act is there. Okay, section 184 deals with all these things. Section 293 is there. That's the powers of the DMA. So, probably under section 293, the DMA, acting on Shipyard's letter to the DMA, he called both the parties, that is Shipyard, he called municipality. Municipality went, and municipality was represented by its advocate. It was represented by its advocate, Haider Kilji, who spoke on the same. He's given his entire thing. One, gift deed to be done. Two, that much area falling within road widening has to be
Taken in.
taken. As far as that is concerned, Shipyard's argument was that, of course, they are entitled to give their arguments. As far as the thing was concerned, they are a defense organization. They have to speak to their higher ups. They've already sent it to their higher ups in Delhi, the Ministry of Defense. Once that approval comes, they'll go ahead with that once it comes. Secondly, as far as taking it in, as and when there is a road widening plan in place, at that particular time, they will take it in. Okay. Second thing, contention was, now there's the new highway come up that side, airport road side, which goes to Sada. So the load of traffic on this road has become less. Hence, it's okay the way it is. But we'll, as and when is needed, we are ready to, we've been law-abiding citizens, that part of it. I don't know how Shipyard's material comes in over there. I don't think it flies from there to here. So it comes on the same road. That's one part. Anyhow, they are free to give their arguments. Now, this is where the whole crux of the matter is. Relying on a particular letter from the PDA, which stated a particular Article 63 of the Building and Regulation Act of 2010, wherein permission can be granted for any project falling within, if it's falling within road widening area, provided that it is not enclosed and encircled, and it is that FAR is not being used. The same can be granted provided they give an NOC. It's like an entire clause that is there. So that entire clause has to be read completely. Now, what has happened is the DMA, in his wisdom, has interpreted it. It's a law. Now, law is very clear. It's in black and white. So he gave his order, gave it to the chief officer. Chief officer, based on his order, issued the occupancy. In that meeting, we raised a point, as Deepak said in yesterday's interview with you. We are waiting for the minutes to be confirmed to see what. As a council, we have asked him to revoke the thing. Now, what does the Act state? The Act states that if the chief officer is aggrieved by any order, he has the power to go to the administrative tribunal and appeal.
Okay.
So we, as a council, have said, boss, revoke this. Now, is he going to go and appeal? Is he not going to go and appeal? If he doesn't go and appeal, then I think the next step is about
Going to vote.
obviously, you have to. Because at the end of it, it is a bottleneck. Let's accept it. It is a bottleneck. nobody is saying, I mean, the other contentions, no, some other people have not. So if like you commit a robbery, I'm entitled to commit a robbery. That's wrong. So fundamentally, this occupancy certificate is wrong. It's difficult for people, for our staff to speak on it. Maybe because they're government servants. We are not government servants. We speak the truth.
What about you?
Well, two things. First thing is, according to me, I might not be um, I mean, a person who is like, good at the law, interpreting the law as such. First thing is, when we say aggrieved party, when the Goa Shipyard is, when we say is an aggrieved party, they have to be there has to be some order that has to be passed against them, which was never passed. In this case, the Siva never passed an order rejecting their occupancy. We had only written to them asking for a letter, asking for an compliance, okay, documentary compliance. To these, they have gone to DMA. So at first, I'll tell you, DMA to entertain this application of theirs itself. I mean, the application itself was not maintainable. Because once we have never rejected, so why you have to go to DMA? Secondly, when he spoke about that land development and building construction act regulation, that rule 63, it clearly mentions when you have, even if you are not consuming the 100% FAR, whatever the road, I mean whatever area that falls in the road winding area should not be enclosed or encroached upon. It's very clear. For you and me, the rule applies. Why not for Goa Shipyard? So, and thirdly, another contention that it's a defense related, some because it defense related, there is secrecy and all these kinds of things. What I am merely saying is that you break this wall, you construct the same wall in your property. Where is the question of we saying, Baba, you keep that area open and so that people can come in? I am saying you guard your area, but you build a wall in your property. Give this area out for the betterment of Vasco. Once you leave that area, once we get that road winding area, we can have a bus stop there. We can have a bus bay there. As we spoken earlier, it is a bottleneck, as rightly OP has said. It's a bottleneck. So
And will remain as a
it will remain as a bottleneck. We are not asking for anything extra. What we are saying is, just give us what is need to be given
To Vasco.
to Vasco Cars.
What is dangerous in that order of the DMA is he relies on this particular Article 63 and he says now Shipyard doesn't have to give anything. You get it? Shipyard doesn't have to give anything. They don't have to give any NOC. They don't have. He's silent on the wall. He's silent on the wall. So when he's silent on the wall, the occupancy is issued over. Game over. So as far as today, if Shipyard doesn't have to give anything, fine. They've got an order to that effect. So that needs to be correct. Now, as of today, whoever sits in the chair and says, boss, this is what it is. You want? Go to court. So it's about
You people are not going to leave this case in simple terms.
our intentions are good. Our intentions, I'm speaking for myself. Vasco comes first. So if Shipyard has done something wrong over here, which they have, it has to be rectified. That's all I'm saying.
And I don't know why Shipyard is reluctant to just demolish the wall and construct it in their own property. What is the idea behind even encroaching upon that particular portion of land? This is very surprising.
And I heard that the back entry was entry exit was given on the basis of this particular proposal.
No. See, Shipyard expansion. First Shipyard was much smaller. I mean, if you go into the history of Shipyard, you can do another program on that. It's
I
like,
know.
But you have to find out the history, how things have, progressed over the years. And as of today, it's a different scenario altogether. There's a road behind, especially people's property has gone. Our field has gone. Not municipality, I'm saying personally, our field has gone. But it was for the betterment. So as of today, there is that road over there. They had said very clearly, no, we'll close our gate. Gate is still open, vehicles are still outside, accidents still happen. What? Wrong.
आणि कितके म्हणून वास्कोकार सोचतले गोवा शिपयार्ड आपली ती एरिया विच बिलोंग्स टू रोड वायडिंग एरिया तेय आपल्याक दवरपाक सोदता
पयली नोकरी दिनासले आता हेय
पळय दिना नाव वेन इट कम्स टू नेवी तूं जाणा कंस्ट्रक्शन करपाक गेला विथीन सो मेनी मिटर्स यू कॅनॉट कंस्ट्रक्ट विदाउट देअर एनओसी तेंची एनओसी घेवपाक कितको त्रास जाता
वास्को खातीर कितें केलां आसतलें CSR म्हाका Because I don't remember. I'm not getting any site where they have done something for Vasco. GSL.
No, they have done. See, you have to give.
No, I don't remember.
Everyone
So please correct me.
As far as they have contributed over the years, as far as ward number, Nanda's ward is, vice ward is.
The ward in which
50.
Goa Shipyard is
They
15.
still maintain that road. They clean it up. They do a lot.
Acha, okay, road.
Yeah, they're doing that. So as they've done Nalla behind, they've cemented that entire thing. So there have been things that they have done. So I'm not saying that they've not done. But here it is about Vasco. Let's think about the future. Now, we were talking about that letter. We are talking about Sohan Bab's letter. There are certain pertinent points. Yes, let's look ahead. So when you look ahead, that's going to be a bottleneck, huge bottleneck. And what? We are stuck. And now with this order, we are really stuck.
And it will remain stuck until unless court gives a decision.
Even the Bandekar does mention about Goa Shipyard in this letter. He also knows that what they are doing is wrong.
Everybody
Everyone
knows.
what they are doing is wrong. But we said our hands are tied. Hands are tied because at the end of it, you want justice, go to court. Sitting here, I know we'll do this interview, and that's it over.
That's the best part, If anything has to be challenged, go to court. But who will pay the money? That is a big question. And everybody.
This will happen. Shipyard has to take their ball in. They have to take their ball in.
Next meeting will definitely be again aggressive.
100%.
If
CO has certain responsibilities, CO has certain duties, and he's the chief officer of this council. His responsibility is towards the council, not towards defense bosses or somebody else. His responsibility is to the council.
I personally, give me that letter. I personally sent a copy of this letter to CO to ask him whether he knows. त्याका खबर आसा की हे स्वर्णबाब बांदेकरान एक लेटर धाडला. He directly, after 2 days, he replied that he has no information about this letter.
See, if you see, this is an email.
Email.
We are still in the 19th century.
Our municipal
This. If you see, this is a PDF document. I think it's an email. It's not inverted.
Yeah,
it's an email.
It's an email.
It has been forwarded to chief officer. Huh?
It is forwarded to co@mmcvasco.com. CO Bab, Jayant Tari Bab. Just have a look. Magai खबर ना ले. I just realized.
So it's an email, and you want to pay your house tax, you want to do your trade license or something. आमचे netच चालना थिंगा. So I don't know whether we've accessed the email. But obviously, municipality has not made this viral. Okay? Because we don't even know whether the mail is come. I mean, I'm not saying anything.
Concerned citizens.
Yeah, this has become viral not from the municipality side. That much I can make clear.
Yeah, that can be seen.
Your statement supports it because he doesn't know.
No, practically I can show you all his message. He's saying I don't have information about this letter.
You can't blame him also entirely. He's a government servant. At the end of it, he's not responsible to him or me or Deepak or anyone. He's responsible to the government. But actually, the city should be his first priority. Vasco should be his first priority. The council should be his first priority. He should think.
City should be the first priority. Well, this is really in our mind also, and it should be in everybody's mind that city should be the first priority. This episode was basically to understand what are the contents of this letter. Contents भितर प्रॉब्लेम कितें हायलायट केले तें दाखोवपाक. शिपयार्डाचे इशू तुमी आयकला आसतले, जशें ओपी बाबान म्हणला, what exactly was the problem he has pointed out. Now let's wait and watch when these all issues pertaining to shipyard will be resolved. पण जे आता स्वर्णबाब बांदेकरान जे लेटर धाडला, it is an eye opener for every Vasco cars that there is dire need for everybody to come united and do something together. जशें आमचे MLA वास्को MLA दाजी सालकर बाबान म्हणलें की आतां आमकां एकत्र येवपाची गरज आसा. खरेखर गरज आसा. खुबशे इशू आसा आजुनी सॉल्व जावना, जावचे ना जे पर्यंत we all come united and take some bold decision. Thank you very much. Keep watching Goa News Now.